Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Pikfunk Smith. Y'all give it up. Y'all give it up.
Yo.
Give me the heart. Give him the love, y'all. Give him the love. How are you, brother?
Man, I'm amazing now.
Dude, it's so good to get you on here, man. Like, dude. Well, they don't know, but, you know, me and you, we go back a bunch of years, but we rarely get a chance to, like, see each other. You know, we usually talk on the phone or text or something like that. But, yeah, man, it's good to see you, man. You know, I hope you don't mind, man. I have like a million questions for you, and they're all great. Like, I really took my time to, like, you know, because I don't, you know, I'm one that believes that, you know, when you get this type of an opportunity, you got to really go for it. Yeah.
Come on, man.
So,
Man, let's go.
yeah. What does good bass playing look like and sound like to you?
Man, good bass playing to me is just like, first of all, just foundational, just solid, you know. I mean, so no matter what, the whole band know, like if the world collapses, they can lean on you because you're going to always be that support. You're going to be there, as opposed to, you know, if I'm down at the bottom of the neck, you know, that's more like trouble. That ain't bass no more, you know what I mean? So I always wanted to be just like the rock, you know what I mean? So like, no matter what, if a drummer go left, I'm gonna be right here, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's, I mean, for me, man, just like, I mean, cats like yourself, bro. It's like, I mean, I like grown man bass. I mean, I love it all though. I mean, I love people that stretch, you know, I love to hear people be expressive, but what's gonna make me just like, is like when somebody playing that same thing for 5 minutes and haven't moved, but it just feels thicker for some reason.
Yeah.
You've been playing the same thing, but 5 minutes later, just like, God, dog. You know what I mean? That's what's good, solid, foundational bass playing, you know, for me.
Eric Pikfunk Smith, my brother, he has played for Rihanna, Janet Jackson, Layla Hathaway, Fantasia, Justin Timberlake, P. Diddy, Destiny's Child, Jamie Foxx. I mean, the list goes on. It's crazy. You have a Grammy certificate for Little Ghetto Boy, right?
Right.
Man, congratulations, man. That's
Thanks,
awesome.
man. Thank you.
That's awesome. Is this your first one, or?
Yeah, man. What's funny though is Grammys or like recognition was never on my radar.
Yeah.
Like, especially like from a production standpoint, you know, it's like,
right.
I mean, if people acknowledge you for, you know, your bass work, you're like, wow, man, I appreciate it. But like, you know, Layla allowed me to partner with her and just come in on the production side of things, you know. So with that and Angel, actually, you know, so that was amazing, you know. And I mean, we can talk about her forever, but she's the best, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. Here's the thing about Janet though. Daniel Jones has been her musical director. So I have, like, up to now, I wasn't her music director. I was just the bass player. And you know, Daniel, you know, unfortunately passed a few months back. And so this show that we just did was like my first show taking that role on, and very emotional, obviously, you know, because I mean, Daniel, that's like, I mean, that hurt more than family, bro. Honestly, you know, just losing him. So it's one of those, unfortunately, I got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I would give every dollar to have him back and just have him take over that role. So I wouldn't dare take credit for anything that he's done musically up to this point, you know, because for the last, you know, I think I've been here 9 years now, you know, that's been his role. So the show that we just did, actually the 2 shows we just did this past weekend, those were my first shows, you know, just stepping into that role.
Nice, man. Congratulations. I'm sorry about your brother, man. Like,
thank you.
I mean, immediately, like, you could tell that it affected you. You can kind of see it.
Yeah.
What was that like for you, man? I don't want to, you know, since we're here, you know, what was that like?
Man.
Yeah.
Horrible. Like, horrible, man. We had to have grief counselor come in and just, you know, give perspective. I mean, you know, we're all, for the most part, are Christians and we're believers, man. And, you know, we trust God and all that stuff, man. But it's like, when you just think about, And I don't want to be selfish at all because I mean he left his family behind. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean his wife Brisha, man, you know, their two kids, you know, and you know his mom Val and his aunt Stephanie, you know, just I mean it's tough, man, because like I mean you know we're a fraternity, man, so this thing goes way beyond music,
Yeah.
man. It's like you know, like I mean you spend more time with your colleagues than your own family,
Yeah.
and you know so yeah, it's a hard one, bro. Like, I mean, that literally broke my heart, man, and you know, just still dealing with it, you know. So
How is your relationship with the artists and the musicians that you play for?
I mean, we're all connected, man. It's like, you know, I think a lot of times people don't get, man, just I mean, it's to a point, man, there's so many amazing musicians, you know, that don't understand the other side of it. It's like just the relationship part, just you know, the being cool, you know, being professional, you know, providing comfort for the artist, so they know that no matter what, like if all these fans boo me, I got my family behind me, you know. So, and that's even musically, like, and I had to learn this a long time ago, man. I remember in 1994, dog, I'll never forget this. I'm on tour with Tevin Campbell, and we're opening up for Babyface and Boys to Men,
Wow.
and people started calling me Pikfunk because I'm playing funk stuff with a guitar pick, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, um, and at that point, we're playing arenas, man. Dude, I got like 410 eating cabinets behind me, man, and just like, and playing a lot of notes, you know what I mean? And so, man, this cat, Alex Androni, keyboard player for Babyface, man, he put me to the side. He was raw with me, say, man, listen, man, you're a bad boy, man, but this will probably be your last tour. And
Wow.
I was like, huh? He said, yo, man. He said, you're so loud on stage that you're almost muted in the house. And it's almost like you're playing for the people on stage. It's like, man, the music suffers. You know, it's like, man, you got to play the record. And it's like, you got to work on your tone, man. It's like, and then this is the gut punch. And I'm thinking, man, if I want DOA, I'm going to call DOA, not you.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
Yo, hey, man. I was like, whoa, bro. But think about it. Like a lot of young cats right now, they'll just be like, man, you just mad because you can't do it. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. But man, I literally took everything he said to heart. And then Reggie Hamilton, who was playing bass for Babyface, he came in and just reiterated what he said, but it was just, you know, more with compassion. He was just like, yeah, Eric, you know, it's like, man, you want to make sure that on these type of situations, man, that it becomes muscle memory. So if you play the same thing over and over again, you'll limit your mistakes that way, and then you won't play something that you think is great that might throw the artist off. You know what I mean? And so at least if you're playing the same thing over and over again, the artist gets used to what you're playing.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I'm like, wow. I mean, then he was like, yeah, you know, and then just explain to me how bass frequencies work in an arena. It's like, if you're doing a club where your bass is your amp is your PA, that's different. But in these rooms, man, you gotta like let them at the low end in the subs. You know, turn that down on stage, and you know, you want to be clean. You want to make sure your tone is articulate and all that kind of stuff. So whatever you're playing, people understand it. So I was like, wow. So literally, I went crazy just on some tone at that point. I'm like, man, I'm about to figure this thing out. You know, so I started listening to cats who had tone like DOA, you know, Marcus Miller, obviously, you know what I mean? And I'm like, what makes their bass sound good? And I figured it out. So now I'm just like, I'm a tone maniac, you know what I mean? So
Dude,
yeah.
you just dropped some heavy dimes, bro. Oh my God. That Reggie Hamilton told you that at that stage in your career?
1994, bro. If I bring that conversation, hopefully he'll remember. But he's literally the one that changed my whole approach to bass, bro. I stopped playing with a pick at that point.
Wow.
I'm like, dang. So, I mean, because I'm playing and the band jocking me because back then, you know, we didn't have in-ears and then we playing like loud monitors and like, and everybody, yeah, dog, you know, we just having fun up there. They're like, yeah, man, but it don't sound good out there. So I'm like, well, that's where I want to sound good. So, you know, so that's why now, if you look at these pop tours I've been doing, I don't have a bass sound.
Yeah.
You know why? You know, I mean, because that's only our monitor, and when you're wearing in-ears, you're not really hearing your bass amp anyway. You might turn it up to feel it, but like nah. So I've learned how to adjust. So I'm totally cool with just rocking ears. You know what I mean?
Wow, man. Are you able to maintain like just the level that you're at for so long? Because you've been doing it at a high level for a long time.
Well, man, you know what? I look at it like this. So do you remember when you had the great Lakers with Shaq and Kobe? You know, and they lost in the finals to a Detroit Pistons team with no All-Stars.
Yeah.
You have 5 incredible role players.
Yeah.
I want to win, man. You know what I mean? So I don't have to shine ever. You know what I mean? It's like I'm cool with what my role is. If my role is like, yo, man, this one song, like Justin Timberlake has a song called Murder, right? It's just like, dude, here's the bass line. Boom, 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 boom. My favorite song of the whole show, bro.
One note.
No, I mean, that joint feels so crazy, man. I'm just like, woo.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that's where it is, bro. It's like, hey, man, come on, bro. Like the James Brown joint, ding it, 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 ding it. Doom, 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 doom. You know what I mean? So that, hey, believe it or not, that's where I'm comfortable, man. I love those type of joints, man. So for me, it's like, okay, what does this gig call for? You know what I mean? Now back in the day when I was MD and Mary, 10 of them wanted you to be more aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, no, we need that energy. So I kind of morphed into that, which, I mean, it was fun, but I'd rather do the other stuff. And that's why I love playing with my brother, because my brother's going to go nuts on guitar, but he knows no matter what, I'm not moving.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And here's another thing. So you got to remember, dude, I grew up playing quartet with my dad. And so
wow.
I started playing drums, and if I did anything on the drums, he would literally embarrass me, make me get up. My dad would literally make me get up during church, bring the mic over to the drums. He'll play, you know, and sing and be horrible. But he's just like, like, you get up. Same thing with bass, man. Like, if we get into a drive, you better not move. So between that and then, you know, the Reggie Hamilton stuff, hey, man, that literally, like, okay. So, and quartet was the one thing that I hated.
Really?
Hated quartet music. Hey, look at it like this, bro. So, from a bass player standpoint, you gotta do like do. I'm talking about old school.
Yeah.
Quartet.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Jubu, on the other hand,
he gets to
Jubu
live.
doing all
yeah.
He going nuts, and he's the one that's getting phone numbers after the quartet program. You know, they're like, Jubu. I'm getting in the car with my mama. You know what I mean? It's like, it's whack. You know what I mean? So I'm like, hey, man, I hate this stuff, bro. But then I compare that to like Karate Kid, dude. Remember Mr. Miyagi be like, okay, come paint the fence.
Yeah.
Wax the floor. You know? And so my man like, man, I'm tired of being your slave, man. You know, like, when you gonna train me? He said, okay, paint the fence. And so he's like, paint the fence. But then he threw a punch at him.
Right.
And with that same motion, paint the fence, he blocked it.
Right.
So the whole time he didn't realize he was being trained by the work.
Right.
That's what quartet was for me, bro. I didn't realize I was being trained. You know what I mean?
Trained by the work.
Yeah, so yeah, bro.
So this is the song, everyone, that kind of introduced me to the Pikfunk. And this is a great example of your playing, in my opinion, because it's just you. When we talk about quartet, it's just you and Agape Jerry on guitar. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm just gonna play this, and I'm gonna make some ugly faces as you melt our faces on this.
That's funny.
Like, you let the guitar shine, and then when he came off of his, you went right into yours. It was just like this conversation of just feel and funk and just essence, and man, it's fantastic. I've been living on this for like at least since like 2007, so at least about 15 years I've been feasting on this. When people come to see you, what do you want to leave them with? Like your legacy. What is your legacy that you're leaving behind?
Man, you know what, dude? I want everybody to leave feeling inspired, you know, feeling love, feeling that any goals that you have, you can achieve them. All you gotta do is put God first, and you know, it's like that's your daddy. He owns everything. You know what I mean? So whatever you want to do, you can do it. And also, man, like unlike some musicians, man, I look at touring a little different because I realize that there's a lot of things that's going on in our world right now. You know, there's like a lot of racist stuff. You know, you got a lot of terrorism. But during these, you know, hour and a half, 2 hours that we performing or whatever, it's like, it's love in the room. And then maybe somebody woke up that morning or the day before, like, yo, man, it's like, I'm tired of this, bro. I'm about to end it. You know what I mean? I'm just about to end my life. And then maybe something happens during that show that makes them want to leave, that makes them feel inspired. And that's why, bro, like, I mean, I should say social media is a blessing and a curse, but I get hit up by a lot of fans, bro. Like, I mean, and most times from like the artists, you know, like, you know, I'm going to be at the Janet show. You know, I would love to meet you and take a picture. Yeah. Absolutely. Just DM me. Let me know where take a picture of your seat or whatever. Yeah. I'll come out and say hi. You know, I literally treat everybody like that, bro, because you just never know what somebody's going through. And I don't want anybody to ever think that I have an inkling of Hollywood or whatever, because man, this is all God, bro. I know there are people that will destroy me on my own instrument, you know what I mean? So the fact that I'm here, you know, at 52 years old, man, and my phone still rings, bro. I mean, I just feel like blessed, you know, beyond measure, man. And like for the young musicians that always ask me like, yo, man, what advice would you have for somebody, you know, trying to, you know, get in? Hey, man, you know what the first thing I always say?
What?
Tithe.
Oh, really?
Tithe, bro.
Wow.
Hey, man, like I've literally been a faithful tither for like the last 28 years strong, bro. And when I tell you, like, never seen his righteous forsaken, you know what I mean? Or see begging for bread, bro. Like I'm a true hey, bro, I'm talking about even during COVID. Wow. I've been Gucci, bro. Never stopped tithing, and I mean, God has been faithful, bro. So you know, I think if people just get that part down, man, it's like, you know, God, like, can I trust you? It's mine, first of all. And I think a lot of times people are like, man, I paid my tithe. First of all, the tithe is not yours. The tithe belongs to the Lord. You could be your offering, you know what I mean? But like, it's easy. Like, come on, Sharay, if I'm like, yo, bro, I'm about to give you a G, bro. Hey, but when it clear your bank, just send me back 100. You'd be stupid not to.
Right.
I mean,
right.
That's the whole concept, you know what I mean? And it's a faith move, you know? So yeah, bro. And hey, that for me, that's my foundation, bro. So, I mean, that's in a nutshell.
You got a lot of people from the town in the feed, man. Can you tell me a little bit about what was it like growing up in Oakland, man?
Man, Oakland, you know, like I know, Chicago, y'all had a nice quartet scene there, but man, Oakland was quartet heavy growing up. I'm talking about like Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, Sunday night is a program somewhere. It's a program somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
So, hey man, and you knew what it was, hey man, and the groups that used to come out of here, man, like the Mighty Serenaders, the Superior Angels, the Omega Airs, you know, the Sons of Zion, the Sons of the Soul Revivers, man. It's like,
Wow.
I'm talking about, it was so many groups that literally could have been major. Like that when major groups would come to town, they would leave like, yikes. You know what I mean? It's like, because, I mean, that was, quartet was like a thing here, man. And, you know, but yeah, man, so growing up here, man, like the level of musicianship, I didn't even realize how dope people were, you know, because I grew up with, you know, like the whole Tony's camp, you know, Sadiq, you know. I didn't grow up with Dwayne. Dwayne was older than us, you know, but, you know, Sadiq Carl Wheeler, you know, Elijah Baker, you know, like the whole Hammer crew, you know, Oaktown 357, you know, short. It's like, so there were some things happening here, you know, and obviously the Hawkins family, but, you know, believe it or not, me and Joel got closer. Probably I was around 17-ish, you know,
Joel
man.
Smith.
Yeah, me and Joel got tight, man. You know, rest in peace to my big bro, man. But, and what's funny, dude, he was such a legend here that I didn't want to start sounding like him, so I didn't even listen.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? Because it's like there are so many carbon copies of that already. I'm like, yeah, nah, but it's like, but the fellowship, man. So, you know, so Oakland, man, had a really vibrant, you know, music scene here, man. It's like, and then if you want to play like some blues and that kind of stuff, you have places like the Fifth Amendment, the Serenader, you know, going there, OGs like Smoking, you know, and Jubu started sneaking in there like 16 years old, playing blues. Had no business being in there, but he's in there, you know, shredding. So so Oakland was, you know, was definitely a good melting pot. So the way Jubu started playing was funny. 5 years old, man, Jubu started playing bass.
Wow.
And the stuff that he was playing as a kid, you'd be like, no way, bro. On bass. People, if y'all don't know this, Jubu's a monster on bass, dude. Don't listen to the guitar stuff. Like, Jubu can play some bass.
Wow.
You know? So what happened was Jubu's 5. And so my dad, he had the group, the quartet group, and the bass player quit right before rehearsal. So they rehearsing at my grandmother's house, and everybody's like, you know, all right, man, we just call it or whatever, you know. And Jubu was like, Dad, I can play. It's like, boy, get outside and play. You know, you can talk about you can play.
Right.
They said, oh, we just rehearsed with just the guitar, the drums, the keyboard. So my dad never saw Jubu pick up bass because he thought Jubu was outside. So my dad would play a chord like, boom, boom. And my dad turned around and was like, man, this boy been paying attention. You know, so he's like, I'm gonna try. And so Jubu was the bass player for my dad's quartet group at 5.
Are you kidding me, man?
5 years old. I'm talking about like doing stuff like do 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 do.
No, he was not, man. Not at 5,
old, bro. 5 years old. I'm telling you, Jubu was like bass bigger than him.
Wow,
yeah,
that's crazy, like, man.
And he's all like literally, bro. Like, but he's like Jubu's was way more focused than I was on the instrument. Always, I'm talking about Jubu takes his instrument with him everywhere. Like Jubu being sitting on the toilet playing.
Wow.
Like, bro, I gotta use it. All right, just in there, you know, going nuts, you know. All he did was play, man. Like, you know, and you know, people think like, man, he's just a quartet cat, man. Jubu grew up like West Montgomery, you know, listens to a gang of reggae, bro. Like he loves like that whole reggae thing. Like he played with this reggae band out here called Peter Applebaum and Hieroglyphics, and he was in high school then.
Wow.
So like his vocabulary is just nuts, bro. So like, nah, so that's kind of what I grew up around. Man, I saved up so much money to get my first bass. I put my bass on. I had an Ibanez I put on layaway, bro, at Guitar Center.
Oh yeah.
I was 15 when I got my first bass, and hey, do I kid you not? I probably have receipts. like I'm to put $1 on my bass. Not like, hey, real talk, bro. Like,
that's real, bro.
Why don't you save your money up and come get it? I'm like, no, I don't want to spend it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I get lunch. Like, I'll put $250 on my bass. $250? No,
$250.
So man, when I got that bass, y'all went crazy on like the first dude that blew me away, man. Like, dude, I was Fred Hammond nuts.
Fred was a
first commission. Like, I'm going on that first record,
yeah.
you know, Victory, Went Inside, Go Tell Somebody, hey man.
You was like, yeah, for real.
I was Fred Hammond, like, because he just played aggressive.
Yes, he had that big boy bass, man. That's a different feel to it.
Yeah. So yo, man, I'm like, who is this dude? So yeah, so and then from there, man, it was just like DOA, like nonstop, bro. Like, I mean, because that's my bro. We hang all the time, and
yeah,
man, y'all got to look up DOA playing on Rhythm Nation tour, bro.
I have.
Wow. Makes absolutely no sense. So those were my two, DOA and Fred.
Do you have a personal relationship with the artist that you play for? Or do you keep it separate? Like, how do you go about doing that part of it?
You know, honestly, it really depends. Like, you know, when I was working with Rihanna, we definitely had a personal relationship. You know, matter of fact, dude, and I think it was probably more like that because when I first started with her, she wasn't a star. You know,
oh wow,
like literally, she routed me to the sandwich spot. You know
That's what Chris Johnson was saying. I did an interview with him.
Yeah, bro. Like, I'm talking about, we going to Porto, she riding with me, you know, or like, yeah. So, you know, she had my number, you know, like, and she got this thing, you know, they call, like, I guess it was kind of, you know, what they call Bati boy and all that kind of stuff. Like, what's up, you butler? You know, just like a little insult, you know what I mean? Like, so like, yeah, we were super tight, but it was way more family oriented before, you know, she went to Rock Nation or whatever, because she used to be managed by Rebel One, which was like Christian, Mark Jordan, and they put emphasis on family.
Okay.
You know, so like, we at the same hotel, you know, like, she wants to spend time with you know, her band and dancers, you know, like, we're out on holidays, so we doing Secret Santa, you know what I mean? So it was like really a lot of that. But then the bigger she got, there was more emphasis on separating her.
Right.
You know, so she'd be at another hotel, you know, it's almost like, okay, I don't want her close to people, because if we decide to let you go, it's whatever, you know what I mean? So, so, you know, but I mean, if I see her now, still love, but definitely not what it was. But I get it, you know, it's like the business side of it. I mean, she's moved on, you know, she's huge, you know. Layla Hathaway, on the other hand, that's family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Literally family. I mean, like, you know, I stayed at her house when she wasn't there. You know, just like, well, hey, the keys to the Tesla are hanging up, or, you know, take the Beamer or whatever. It's like, you need somewhere to go, you know, yada, yada, yada. Or she's been in my crib, you know. Like, we talk all the time, you know, outside of music, you know. It's like, I've been her vacation home, you know, like, so yeah, it's like, it's a difference. You know, Janet, it's all love, you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, everybody's amazing. Like, we have amazing relationships, but I don't call her outside of the job, you know, because, you know, I don't know. I mean, is
that a respect thing, or?
Probably. I mean, because I didn't always talk to Layla like this, you know. Initially, you know, it's like, you know, we would even though I was MDing from the gate, since I've been working with her for like the last 20 years, but I think it grew into like, okay, this is my sis. Yeah. You know, like Jan, you know, we haven't spent a whole lot of time together, even though I've been working with her this long. Yeah. You know, because Daniel would have to spend that time, you know, just going on with musical stuff and, you know, creating and you know. So for us, you know, we would come in, and she's super sweet. She speaks to everybody, you know, like sometimes she's like, you know, I want to take the band and dancers out to dinner, you know, like I rented out a bowling alley, let's go bowling, you know, like I rented out the movie theater, you know, that kind of stuff. So so she's super nice. But, you know, I just feel like, you know, certain people, if I just call out the blue, like, why are you calling me? You know, and she might be cool, but I just don't, you know. So I don't know. I don't know if I can't answer that honestly.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know, but it's like I'm not comfortable doing that.
Okay.
You know, but with Layla, you know, that's my girl.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember I did when I did that tour with Diddy. Diddy actually was out hey, tripping. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what just happened, bro. Because Lil Tony is the one that actually Lil Tony is the one that asked me to come sub for him on Diddy. So I was trying to say Tony and Diddy at the same time, you know, Diddy. So yeah, so doing that, bro, like I saw how he got out with cats. You know, like Diddy's one of them dudes, like once he hones in on something, it's bad. So like the trumpet player, man, now I don't know what he heard or what he thought he was hearing, but man, I'm talking about he got on this dude top, man, and it was bad, bro. I'm talking about for like the whole day.
Wow.
He's just like, man, what you doing, bro? Like, hey, the time is money, B. It's like, man, that sounds horrible. And so like Kenneth Whalen was playing sax, and he's looking at Kenneth like, yo, you know this dude? You like him? Why you let him sound like that? This is horrible. I mean, he just like going in on this dude. And so I'm never saying anything, bro, because I'm like the first time I feel disrespected, I'm like, yo, man, I'll go home.
Yeah.
I mean, this money ain't worth my manhood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I auditioned for Janet back in the day, bro. Right? Like probably 20 years ago. Hey, man, I was ready, bro. Like, I studied the music, you know, my DOA and Chucky Booker, they recommended me, man. So I'm about to go here and like do my thing. So, man, I did the audition. The first audition was like 10 bass players or whatever. And, dude, I felt confident, man. It's like to the point, man, we was playing Black Cat. And Paul Merkovich, like, he stopped the track in the middle of the joint. So I'm thinking, like, I'm whack. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and he just looking at me like, dude. He said, hey, man, this is ridiculous, man. Hey, bro, you got the call back, man. It's like, well, I'm not going to waste any more time. I was like, bro, like, man, you're killing it. And so then Dave Barry was like, yeah, man, he feel like DOA. I'm like, that's my bro. So I'm like, I'm good. So I felt Gucci, man. I keep based up everything. So I had to call back where Janet actually came through. And so, hey, man, so I'm in the parking lot, you know, stressing over nothing. I knew the music, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm listening to the music in my car. Hey, man, these SUVs came up like the Obamas, bro, right? And so, like, they blacked out, you know, security standing outside the car, you know, for a few minutes. The next thing you know, Janet comes out, and they, like, hovering over her and walk around. Dude, they walked her in, and, like, about 2 minutes left. Hey, Eric, you up? So, hey, dude.
Wow.
First bass player playing in front of you. Hey, bro, I've never been so nervous in my entire life, bro. Hey, no cap. I was shaking trying to plug my bass in, like just trying to plug my jack in. I was like, yo, man, relax. And so I plugged my bass in, man. Dude, I'm so nervous, and then I'm overthinking, like, dang, does she care more about what I look like or what I sound like? So, man, I'm moving more than I ever moved in my life, man. I'm playing on top, you know what I mean? And I feel it the whole time. I'm like, relax, bro. I'm like, hey, man, I sounded horrible, right? And so, like, sounded horrible. So, you know, after audition like that, you normally wait, you know, see what happens. Man, so as soon as I got done playing, I got my car, I jumped right on Highway 5, driving back to Oakland, right? So during my drive, Paul Merkovich called me. Hey, man, this is what this dude said. He's like, Eric, I'm so disappointed in you. Wow. Now, mind you, I didn't have a relationship with him. I mean, he's like, I'm so disappointed in you. I was like, man, I know. He said, listen, man, you killed so hard at the first audition that I told Janet, you're going to love the bass player. Wow. He said, I had already chosen you. I just needed her to see you. He said, but, man, you showed up today like this was your first day playing bass. Wow. He's like, what happened? He said, I know what happened, but I want you to tell me. And I say, bro, I got nervous. He said, and she knew that too. And I tried to explain that to her. And then her rebuttal was like, what happens in front of 20,000 people? You know, so I was like, dang. He said, yeah, man. He said, I hate to tell you this, man, but you literally played yourself out of a gig. He's like, it was yours. Like nobody sounded better than you at the first audition. He said, you didn't have to do anything better than you did the first one. You just had to do what you just did. I was like, dang. But the testimony is God's delay is not his denial. You know what I mean? Because maybe I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, and then, you know, Ethan ended up doing the tour. So that actually elevated him too. You know what I mean? And so it's like, but I'm just like, hey man, so a lot of times we want stuff so bad that it's like, yo man, it's like, you can't care at the end of the day because your life doesn't depend on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anytime you go into audition, man, you can't stress yourself out, man, because it's like, you're not going to do your best. You just literally got to like, okay, well, they call me because they know I'm capable of doing it.
Yeah.
So I just got to go in here and play at this point. So I was young, man, you know, and had to learn the hard way, you know, but I'm glad. And I think a lot of times we go through things, not just for us, it's to tell somebody else.
Yeah.
Because you went through it. So like when you go in, even like if, you know, my kids, you know, if they go for a job audition, like, yo, man, listen, this is how you got to approach it, man. Just be you.
Yeah.
You know, just be yourself. Don't put no extra pressure on yourself because what God has for you is for you either way.
Yes,
so,
sir.
You know,
yes,
don't
sir.
go in trying to be something that you're not and, you know, like trying to be all proper and all like, no, man, just be you. Because a lot of times people like your charisma anyway. Like, there's something about this kid that I like.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, be yourself and go in and be great. You know?
Awesome, man.
The seeds that were planted in me as a kid, you know what I mean? Like stuff that my dad would always tell us, you know, even before we thought that we would ever pursue music professionally. It's like, hey man, listen, don't ever get the big head, son. You know, somebody in a juke joint play rings around you. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, all that kind of stuff, man. And even like me doing simple stuff. Like I remember being in Chicago, hanging out with Kahari.
Yeah.
He's like,
rest in
I'm about to take
peace. All right.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. You know, so you know, we had just got through doing Raphael's tour or whatever together, and so it's like, yo, man, I'm gonna take you to the spot, man. You know, we playing, man. So OG cats in there, you know, they can play. Like, all right, cool. So, man, I remember these dudes probably was in their 50s then.
Yeah.
But killing. Yeah. And I was like, yo, man, is there anybody average in Chicago? You know what I mean? It's like, I'm talking about everybody was in there on fire, bro. So I'm like, stuff like that just remind you, man, you can go, you know, just because somebody hasn't made it to, you know, a fame level or, you know, on a big gig or whatever, that doesn't diminish their greatness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe they just don't have the platform. Maybe they're just not placed in the right city. They're not in the LA or New York, you know. So don't ever get it twisted, man. Just be grateful that God has allowed you to be able to sustain yourself, you know, during your hobby. You know what I mean? So like I don't ever look down my nose at anybody, bro. And it's like you would never hear me calling somebody whack and none of that stuff, bro. Like I don't get in that because there's things I can listen to myself and be like, that sound horrible. You know what I mean? It's like so, you know, we gotta always just remain humble, man, because you know, no matter what, man, this thing can be gone overnight. You know, and it's like, and so I always say stuff like, man, you know, just say 20 years from now, man, you know, I'm done playing. I go get me a job, you know, at the local high school just to stay active. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some custodial stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm clean out the bathroom. I tell one of the kids, hey man, you remember Rihanna? Man, I used to be a musical director. What is that kid gonna say? Man,
Who's Rihanna?
shut your lying butt up and clean the toilet. You know what I mean? So it's like, what have you done for me lately? So it don't matter what I've done in the past, man. It's like, what are you doing now? So it's like, at the end of the day, man, you just gotta remember, bro, like one day this will all be over. And like when you look at people like, you know, like the Daniel Jones, man, like the school that he went to in Dallas, man, they just, you know, put a scholarship in his name.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That's nice, man.
Yeah,
that's
bro.
great. Yeah.
So that kind of stuff is a legacy. You know what I mean? It's like his name will like his legacy will live forever, bro. That's what it's about, man. It's like I don't want to be that dude because I ain't gonna call no names out, but I've met heroes at a young age that just crushed me. You know, just like I couldn't wait to meet this cat, and they were a jerk to me. You know, and I'm like, dang, man, that's whack. You know what I mean? And I don't want to ever make anybody feel like that, man. I want everybody that ever cross my mind, cross my path to be like, yo, man, I met that dude, man. He treated me with so much love, man. Like, really nice guy, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell you who jacking me up too, Derek Hodge. So, dude, like, Derek has this story, man. He had to tell you himself about how we met, man. Like, he reached out to me on MySpace.
Wow.
You know, and he wasn't the Derek Hodge that we know now. You know what I mean? And he just talked about, you know, how nice and humble I was. And then I linked up with him when I came to Philly with Fantasia, you know, all that kind of stuff, man. And that's just who I am, though, man. It's like, I didn't know that he was this monster on bass. You know what I mean? I'm just like, you know, somebody reached out to me. I'm like, hey, man, of course we can hook up, you know, hit me, you know, here's my number, whatever. So that's just important to me, to the point that, you know, I've always been even accused of like caring about what people think too much. I'm like, that's cool, but that I can't change who I am. It's like, I do care about how I'm perceived and, you know, what people think. And I just want to always, you know, be known as a nice guy. You know, if people think I can play, that's cool. They don't think I can play, that's cool as well, you know. But I mean, who I am as a man is more important to me, you know. So yeah, man.
Well, man, listen, you are one of my favorites, man. Just one of my favorite people because of your consistency, man. Like, you've been, and I don't want to say the same dude, but you've been the same quality of dude since the beginning, you know, since I first met you, man. Like, you haven't lowered your quality. Like, you've only gotten better, like you've gotten wiser, you know, and you've always been a really giving, honest, and transparent person, man. I'm glad that I get a chance to do this with you and kind of share this with other people, man. You play such good bass on that, man. I didn't get a chance to play it today, man, but I just love the way that you approach it, the tone, the feel, the patience. It's like you can feel the relationship between you and Layla, man. It's like you guys are like, it's like you guys are just moving together. Like, you support her wherever she goes. You're right there with her. Like, it's amazing. Like, it's one of my favorite, like, just bass things. You know, I got Nothing Has Ever Felt Like This. You know, Anthony Jackson, Del Pharrell, Angel.
Hold on, man. Hold on, dude. Do you remember when I recommended you for Rochelle?
Absolutely.
Hold on. So Rochelle was stressing me all the way out, bro. You know, like, you know how I move and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. I said, listen, I'm gonna send you the bass player of life. Then, like, is he funky? You know, Eric, where I go, because sometimes these shows can go left, and I'm like, Rochelle, trust me. Like, once you play with Sharay, you won't care about me, Raymond McKinley, nobody else.
You crazy,
like,
man.
You know, because I sent Daryl Freeman before too. But I'm like, trust me. Once you hear Sharay read, trust me. Hey, she called me, and man, she was like, hey, dude. First of all, she held the sound forever. I was like, Sharay. Thank you so much, Sharay. And I'm telling you, bro, like this, like literally, man, this journey has been all God, bro. Like, ain't got nothing to do with me, you know. Like, so, you know, just thank God. Like, even like, so, I go to a small church, Pittsburgh, California, Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church. You know,
Mount Zion.
You know, Maurice Bass is my pastor, man, with his lovely wife Mavis. So, just the foundation, bro, like it's been laid, man, you know, between that and, you know, my parents and stuff, man. So like, that's why, you know, when people are like, man, how you so humble? How can I not be, bro? Like, literally, I've driven from rehearsal in LA just to make it home to church, you know, pull up in my church parking lot and just lay my seat back for a minute, you know, get a little shut eye, put some mouthwash in, go in and play. You know what I mean? So, like, so that's it, bro. So I ain't nothing but a church boy that you know, God blessed to be able to, you know, play in a few arenas. You know, that's all it is, man.